without wasting too much time, I'll start with today's lesson, which is single candle order block mitigation entry. So let's look at some illustrations first so that I will explain everything to you guys before we dive deeper into the lesson. I don't know, anytime I start with the meeting, then seems like the Google Meet slows down my Chrome. That is very bad.
Please, are you sharing your screen? You can see.
Yeah, I'm not sharing it. It's like the Google Meet is slowing my browser. Okay, so you should see it very soon. So those of you who said you don't understand the previous lesson, don't worry. I'll take that lesson again after I finish with this topic. In our next meeting, I'll talk about that topic again. All right. You are welcome. It's been a while. Can you all see my screen now?
Yes, please.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. That means I can start. All right. First of
I can't
all,
see your screen.
if someone cannot see my screen, then it is from your network. Who else cannot see
Yes,
my
I can see
screen?
your I can see your screen.
Who else cannot see my screen?
I can see it. Maybe it is your network.
So if you cannot see my screen, then it is from your network.
I can also see it, so maybe it's from the networks.
Yeah, if one person can see it, means the rest are having issue with their network.
I can also see.
All right, then let's start.
Yeah.
Please, all of you kindly mute yourself for me for now. All right, so let me quickly explain what single candle order block is, or what point of interest is. Please, if there is a break in my presentation, let me know, because these few days network is not stable here. All right. So now, when we talk about single candle order block, okay, we are looking at something like this. Let's say we have this candle like this. Then we have the next candle this way. Okay. Please, is my screen still showing?
Yes, please.
Okay. I want to be very sure. So then we have a next candle like this, something like this. Here you can see that this new candle has swept the high of this previous candle. Okay, forget about the color of the candle that I'm using. Just concentrate on the concept I'm explaining here. Okay, so this candle here has grabbed the liquidity of this second candle by sweeping the high of the candle. Okay, now what happens when this happens? Then we call this candle that swept the high and closed the body below that high of this previous candle as the single candle order block. So you can mark this guy like this as the single candle. So all you need to do, but remember, you have to follow all the other rules that we looked at. Okay, that is imbalance. So let's say the next candle that opens this way, and then we have a third candle like this, and we have the gap between the low of this single candle and then the high of this third candle. Then our single candle order block is unmitigated, so it means we can use it. But if, let's say, for instance, this guy mitigates the, let's say the wick comes and mitigates the low here, it means this guy has been mitigated, so we can't use it. What we do is we use the next candle, just as we learned when we were looking at the order block. So this becomes our valid order block. That is if there is imbalance below. Remember that. All right. So this is how we identify a single candle order block. And this concept is what we are going to use when working with entries. So let's look at the illustration. Let me explain it, and then we can then continue from there. All right. Please, sorry for the slow movement of the chart. Is the Google Meet that is causing that. It's slowing the browser because of there's so many extensions that are running. All right. So here, let's say we have this a bearish market. Whatever I'm explaining is true for a bullish market as well. Okay. So this is our bearish market. We have market going down. Then over here, market took out this inducement. So this validates this low. Remember, in a downtrend, we only validate a low when we take out inducement. Okay, so once this inducement is taken out, then our low here is validated. Now, we will only validate this break of structure when the high that was created takes this low and close candle body below it. So here, candle body closes below this. That is why we have a break of structure confirmed. And then that is when we confirm this high also as our valid lower high. Good. Now, this here is just liquidity, okay? Nothing else, not inducement, just liquidity taken out over there. This zone at the top here is our extreme, is called, referred to as our extreme point of interest, and it is the high probability zone. The one before it or any other one in between are all low probability zones. But then the zone just after the inducement is referred to as the decisional POI or order block. Okay. So now, one thing you need to understand is that anytime we take the low, the previous low, we are looking for the new low to be formed. The only way we will confirm that new low is if we take out the inducement. Okay, so here we waited until we got to this inducement and we took it out, then we confirm this low. Okay. Now, after this, a lot of things happen. The first thing you do after inducement is taken out is you should identify your zones. So the first zone you should identify is the one close to the IDM, which we call the decisional POI, and it is low probability. That's why I put there 50-50. It is a 50-50 chance of it working. So this is why if we want to trade a decisional zone, we need an extra confirmation of a single candle order block forming at that zone. Okay, so if a single candle order block forms there, it increases the probability of the zone. Okay, so here everything I'll be doing, if I say higher time frame, it means I'm referring to 15 minutes. That is me for this demonstration. If I say entry time frame, I'm referring to 1 minute. But if we talk about higher time frame, it means any time frame that is bigger than this current time frame is the higher time frame of that time frame. So if we take 1 hour, 15 minutes becomes a lower time frame, 30 minutes become a lower time frame, 5 minutes becomes a lower time frame, 1 minute becomes a lower time frame. So those of you message me that were saying, I said we mark a zone on higher time frame, we come down to lower time frame to take entry. Higher time frame simply means that a bigger time frame, okay, like 1 hour is bigger than 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, and co. If I take 20 minutes, it means it is the higher time frame for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute. You get it? Because it is higher than those guys. If you take daily time frame, anything below 24 hours is a lower time frame to 24 hours. I hope this is clear. If this explanation is clear, type 1 in the chat. If this explanation is clear, type 1 in the chat so that I know that what I've just explained is very clear to everybody. Good. That is great. So now, let's look at something. There are times when market will just sweep your inducement and will not candle close above it on your higher time frame. Okay, so let's say market on 15 minutes just came and then it swept this guy and pushed down. Okay, when that happened, that is what we refer to as our single candle order block forming at that point. In this case, you don't need to wait for market to come to this decisional OB. You can make your trade from this single candle order block. When market reverses there, all you need is switch to your 1 minute and look for a valid inducement, and then you take your trade. Please pay attention. If market sweeps just the top like this, that's why I'll drop these images on the page. That's why I did this and annotated them. If you see, they said if the price happens to just sweep the IDM and close candle body below the inducement, then sell from that point without waiting for the price to get to the decisional POI. This is low probability trade also. To take the sell, you have to wait for IDM on 1 minute if you are using 15 minutes as your higher time frame. So take note of this. Okay. Now, let me explain another thing. Let me scroll up to the second diagram so that I'll explain something there. Oh, come on. The chat is very, very slow. Please, just a minute. Let me close some application. This really slow. Okay, so this is what I wanted to explain. Let's say your inducement, okay, but this time you see the candle body closed above the inducement. Okay, it was the candle body that took out the inducement. In this scenario, what you do is you wait for price to come to your decisional POI before you what? You make entry decision. And that entry decision should be based on your single candle order block. Now, you see that I told you that anytime single candle order block is forming, mostly it sweeps the high of the previous candle as well. Okay, takes the liquidity of it. So you can see this. So when this happens, you can refine the order block to only the wick of the candle, or you can take the whole candle body as your zone. Okay, you can use the wick or you can use the whole candle. Okay, depending on how big the candlestick is. So that is one thing you need to take notice of. So when this happens, all you need to do is you go to 1 minute, wait for your inducement. Then when market comes to this zone, you take your entry and then you move. All right, that is what I wanted to explain on this chart. That's why I said after inducement, sell here when the market gives a reversal condition to do so. We will use the single candle order block entry. Okay. So now sometimes on 1 minute, you see single candle order block forming within this single candle order block. That is another opportunity for entry. So our main entry, first entry will be this area where market reverse. If it creates another single candle order block, that is opportunity for you to take another position. And if let's say you miss this first entry, that is another opportunity for you to enter the market. And as market moves in the direction of the trend, you continue taking multiple positions based on the single candle order block that will be forming along the way. I will show you that on the chart. Now, let's say you'll be like, okay, what about I see single candle order block along this move. You don't trade it. Why? Because that is a counter trend. And moreover, we've not have any good setup for you to take such trade. So taking such trade is you risking your capital, because every single order block you see, you'll be taking buy, sell, buy, sell. No, you go with the pro trend so that you can ride with the trend, and that brings you more success than just taking every single order block that you see anywhere on the chart. That is very bad. All right, so now let's go back to the first chart. Let me explain some few things there and then we go. Now if it happens that price hit your SL over here, then that is when you wait for this decisional OB. Okay, and then also you have to confirm that it is what? It is forming a single candle order block before you take your entry. All right, now if I think I explained this when I was doing the other demonstration. If as you can see, this single candle order block has been what mitigated, and because of that, we use the next candle as what as the valid order block. So all we need is what price taps into this, gives us our change of character inducement on 1 minute, and then we take our trade. Yeah, Gabby, your hand is up.
Yeah, I can't see your full screen, please.
You can see my full screen.
Yeah,
Really?
yes.
Then check your network.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other person having that challenge? And moreover, I'll drop a screenshot of this image on the page. The two images, or I'll drop them on the Telegram and WhatsApp page, so you can watch them very closely. All right. Now, what I was talking about, this extreme OB. Let's say the extreme OB price came and just swept the whole order block. That's why it's not advisable to be taking limit orders anyhow, because sometimes price can just sweep the order block and then close below it. When you see this, then you wait for a valid inducement on the entry time frame before you take the trade. So let's say you take this trade, then price move and then create another single candle order block below it by taking the high of this candle. When that happens, you wait for market to go down, create inducement on the lower time frame, take the inducement, come into your single candle order block, then you take your entry. Okay, all right. So sometimes price don't create inducement, but it still mitigates the order block and then continue. But mostly if you see inducement before that, that is high probability. But if there's no inducement and still price just sweeps the liquidity, then you can still enter the trade, but you should be aware that that is a low probability setup. All right. Okay. So I think these are the key things you need to know about single candle order blocks. Okay. Any question on this before I move on? Any question on this before I move on? Yeah, Emmanuel.
Is there any difference between the single candle and the IFC?
Yeah, they are the same and different. Because single candle order block is also an IFC. And then we can have IFCs that are not formed through single candle order block. Okay. Like for instance here, see that I told you here, when the top one here is mitigated, then we use the next candle, like we see here. Oh, sorry, the chart is quite slow. Okay, so as we are seeing here, okay, this guy was mitigated, so we are using this guy as our order block. This is also an IFC or point of interest, but then this guy didn't sweep the high of this guy, but we use it as our valid order block, which is also an IFC. That is why I am saying that we have IFCs that are single candle and we have IFCs that are not single candle order block. Hope that is understood. Prince, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah. Please, my question is, when in an instance where it taps into the decisional point of interest, you see, we have that zone already. So when it taps in, do we just enter the trade right away, or we wait for the OB to form and then wait for another inducement before we can enter the trade? I don't know
Yeah,
if you get
on the 1 minute. But if you
yes.
want to just pick the trade directly on the 15 minutes, then you just wait for this guy to be mitigated, and then you enter a straight entry. But
I'm saying
for a low risk trade, then you have to go to 1 minute and see something like this and get how do you call it, an IDM, then you enter now.
okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Most of you are saying that you are confused because I said you look for a change of character, you look for IDM, you look for order block before you enter the trade. Those are just the rules. It's not plain text. People said you thought you come and learn. Okay, you see maybe 2 or 3 things, then you enter the market. These are also not plain text thing. I only talk about make sure your structure you identify is valid, make sure you are in a trend. Then when market breaks structure and take out your inducement, then look for your areas of point of interest, both decisional and extreme, and take your entry on lower time frame. That is all. Nothing much. There is somebody getting me. So it's not plenty. It's about just understanding the concept. The lesson is plenty because I'm trying to explain things in the very simple manner for you to understand. So some of you are overthinking the whole thing. That's why you are saying it like that. And some too is because what we are learning, you are not actually seeing it on the chart when you go to the chart. That's why you seem to be confused. No, it's just that you need time. Okay, I know what is happening. Psychology. Okay, you are almost trying to give up, but that shouldn't be the case. It's just psychology that the market is playing on you. So you just have to focus and watch each video closely, and you make it. All right, please, any other question? Any other question? I don't know why my chat is so slow. Okay, so this is 15 minutes. So if I'm doing any chart marking on this particular time frame right now, then it means this time frame is my higher time frame. So if anything happen and I want to take an entry, it means I'll go to 1 minute, which becomes my lower time frame or entry time frame. Okay, so here we can see that market was moving an uptrend, then it changes to what? A downtrend. Okay, so this is our last high, and let's see where our inducement was. Okay, so this is a valid pullback here. So this is our inducement over here. So that confirms the high, this particular high, because we were in an uptrend during this period. So this confirms our high over here. Okay. I don't know with how my chart is behaving. I think I'll have to record this side for you guys. Please forgive me, because if I don't do that, we cannot finish this thing. So I'll end the meeting and then I'll rather restart this machine and record the practical side, the live chat side, demonstrating the single candle order block entry models for you guys. Okay, so I'll upload this lesson for you guys to watch it again. If you understand this thing, even as a scalper, hey, it is so powerful. Let me tell you, it works on boom and crash. This is what I used to trade, boom and crash entries. I used to make entries on boom and crash and volatility pairs 75. I use this to milk it a lot. It works on currencies, it works on stocks, and it works on cryptos as well. I use it to trade features in cryptos. So this is a very powerful entry model. Make use of it. I will see you in the next upload. But before then, I think Maxwell raised his hand. Any
Yeah,
question?
I was saying that if you wouldn't mind, we can still see your screen and all that
Yeah,
you're
you can
doing.
see my screen, but I'm having challenges with moving the chart. It's very slow.
Oh, okay. But I
Yeah,
think that with that, we can still see. So if you can please send something before you do the demonstration and all that off screen. I don't know if you can get me right.
I get you perfectly right. But then, you see, it takes me a long time to get the chart to where I want it to be before I
Okay,
explain
okay,
something.
okay.
Uh-huh. It's
I
moving
get you.
very slow
Okay.
when I drag it.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Please, any other question? Um, Ellie, are you on the call? Ellie. Well, Ellie is the one that designs the beautiful thumbnails you see on the videos. He's doing well. Shout out to him. Thank you
Mm.
very much for that great work. All right, I think he's not on the call right now. So, please, when will you drop the video you are going to do? If I'm not able to drop it this evening, then that'll be tomorrow, please.
Okay. I wanted to ask
This
something.
particular one, I'll upload it this evening. Yeah, somebody was saying something.
I was asking, is inducement the same as a pullback?
Yeah, the first valid pullback after we take a high or a low. Okay, that so you see here, this is a normal high, not a break of structure high. Oh. This is a normal high that has been taken out. Okay, but before then we see this candle, red candle taking the low of this green candle. Because we are in an uptrend, when that happens, that is a valid pullback. That validates the pullback. Okay. And when market next time gets here, some people will be looking to what, to buy from here. So those people that will be looking to buy from here are the ones that will be induced. Okay, inducement is like me selling a false hope to you. I'm selling a false hope to you that when you get here, it will be well with you. But in the actual sense, I know that it will only be well with you for a short period of time, and then you feel pain. So that is what is happening to those here. You see, because of that, market reacted in a buy momentum for few minutes, and then market dropped down. So it hit all of them. They are stop losses here. So that is why we say they are induced. So all those people were induced. That's why we call it inducement. Liquidity grab. Okay. Then when that was done, you see, this is an example of a single candle order block. Took this liquidity and then closes candle body below it. See what happens when market retraces back there. Market went down. See, market goes down aggressively. And even it was even induced. So this is where I was saying we use the next candle, or you use the wick if the wick of it is not induced, but the wick is also induced. So if you get this single candle order block and you move to 1 minute, it means you would have gotten this entry here. You'd have gotten this as entry on 1 minute and you'd have ride with it. But by then, remember, as of now, we have not changed character yet based on structure. Okay, so this is the kind of single candle order block I was telling you that you don't just trade them. It is after we change character structurally, then maybe you can be looking at that. Or we tap onto a higher time frame order block, then that one, for instance, here, this area here, if let's say this was a valid order block, it's an order block but it's not valid because look at this. It was once valid, but as we speak now, it's no more valid. But before it was mitigated, there was imbalance between this and this. Okay, so in that sense, it was valid at that time. This is 15 minutes. Once price mitigate it, all you need to do, you shift to 1 minute, look for a change of character because this is your higher time frame zone. Look for a change of character, and then you what? You look for inducement, and when price takes out the inducement, you enter your trade. That is your sell. But to be a short-term sell, because as of that time, we are in a bullish trend. Please, I hope that is clear.
That's right.
All right.
That-
Is there any other
okay.
question? Quickly, I have about 15 minutes to prepare for my personal class with my trainer. All right. If there's no other question, see you in the next class. I'll give an update on the page. And I also try hard and get this video out for you guys. It was nice having you on today's meeting. Have a blessed evening.